January 24th, 1848, gold is discovered on the property of John Sutter in Northern California.
But how did Sutter come to settle in the area? And what led to the chance discovery of gold on his property? Also, how did the discovery transform California?
Swiss immigrant John Augustus Sutter came to California, then part of Mexico, in 1839. He became a Mexican citizen and was granted 50,000 acres of land in the Sacramento Valley. Sutter built a fort that became the center of his utopian colonial project, which he called New Helvetia. Sutter copied the methods of the Spanish missions by forcing local Native Americans to work on his farms and ranches. In the 1840s, Sutter's fort became a stopping-off point for overland migrants. In 1846, the Mexican-American War broke out. Sutter backed the United States. A treaty officially ended the war in February 1848. A few weeks earlier, Sutter had hired James Marshall to build a sawmill along the South Fork of the American River. On January 24th, Marshall saw a sparkle of light in the freshly cut millrace. He rushed to tell Sutter, who tried to keep the discovery a secret, but within months, prospectors, known as 49ers, began arriving. This was bad for Sutter as they trampled his fields and stole and slaughtered his herds. He petitioned the government for compensation, but he was unsuccessful. The gold rush helped push California to U.S. statehood in 1850 and turned the small coastal town of San Francisco into a major city. San Francisco's population grew from just 1,000 in 1848 to 25,000 by the end of 1849. Sutter's son, John Augustus Sutter Jr., recognized the commercial possibilities of the land and built a new town named Sacramento along the Sacramento River near his father's fort. Sutter Sr. left California. He died in Washington, D.C. in 1880 at age 77 and was buried in Lititz, Pennsylvania. Sutter's Fort is today a California State Historic Park and is a popular tourist site. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1908, the Boy Scouts movement begins with Englishman Robert Baden-Powell's book, Scouting for Boys. In 1943, trapped by the Soviets in Stalingrad, German General von Paulus asks Hitler for permission to surrender. In 1956, after their acquittal, the murderers of black teenager Emmett Till confess in Look magazine. In 1965, Winston Churchill, the leader who guided Britain through World War II, dies in London at 90. In 1972, Shoichi Yokoi, a Japanese soldier who was unaware World War II had ended, is found in Guam. In 2006, after producing 6 films together, Disney announces plans to buy Pixar for $7.4 billion. In 2018, USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar is sentenced to up to 175 years for abusing hundreds of athletes. And now, it's time for our Today in History quiz. On September 11, 2001, which plane struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center? American Flight 11, American Flight 77, United Flight 93, or United Flight 175?
Liked learning about Sutter's Mill and the California Gold Rush? Then you'll love this one about another early West Coast sawmill, this one in Seattle. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.